What's up, everybody? It is Rio and Kyra back with episode 3 of Marriage Madness, and I want to stop and start this episode by thanking you all for viewing, for engaging, for subscribing to our channel. We really appreciate it. We are coming back to back with content weekly, so just stay tuned. But this episode today, I felt the need to talk about because with this 3-day weekend that my husband has had, we've been experiencing some issues with communication more so.
More so, not me.
Right. Anyway, so we thought it would be good to talk about communication and not just where we have issues with communication, but just the idea of communication and relationships altogether. The lack thereof communication, miscommunication, approach when communicating, just all types of stuff that can affect an active conversation or a successful conversation, should I say. Do you want to start?
No, you start.
So basically,
my communication is good.
Right.
Just to start this video off the right way, my communication is
okay. So let me
A1.
ask you, what do you think? Why do you think that your communication is good? What are your communication qualities that make it good?
My approach is always calm. I'm never aggressive when I approach.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
You may not be aggressive as I am, but don't say you're never aggressive.
I'm never aggressive. Look, when I'm trying to start a conversation about whatever it is, whether it's the kids, whether it's an email, whether it's whatever, I'm always like, yo, what's up with blah, blah, blah. It's always kind of a look at me like, I don't know. And I'd be like, yo, what do you mean you don't know?
Okay, well,
that's where the miscommunication comes in, because I'd be like, yo, what do you mean you don't know? Why don't you know? I'm asking you a straightforward question. Give me a response.
So I'm going to stop him right there and say, I know that I have flaws with communicating, and I can admit that. I'm not going to say I'm a perfect communicator because I'm not. But the issue is...
You definitely not.
You trying it because the issue is, how do you not know that you also have some flaws with communication? That's the problem. So if I can admit where I'm wrong at, and I can address or work hard to fix the areas where I may be flawed in communication, but then I got somebody here who thinks that there's nothing wrong with the way that they communicate. So they constantly communicate in the same ways, in the same manners, and kind of get the same reaction sometimes.
A lot of times the way I communicate comes off, I guess, in a bad way to you, is because a lot of times when I'm communicating something to you, this is what you're doing. Like, she'll have her phone doing like this, why I'm trying to communicate something to her. Instead of doing this, it's this. Huh?
That mean
I already said what I had to say. Like, so, you done missed it. All right, therefore, I done moved on. Like, never mind. I figure whatever out on my own because you ain't paying attention anyway.
But did I have my phone in my hand prior to you saying X, Y, and Z?
Yes.
Okay, so it would be different if I picked my phone up in the midst. I get it. I can so if you're saying that when you communicate with me, you want me hands off of everything, then communicate that. It's simple. What he just said. If I am on my phone and he's like, bae, X, Y, and Z, and I'm not paying attention, because I do have trouble multitasking. And I look up and say, what you say? Instead of getting an attitude, because that's poor communication, getting an attitude, never mind with an attitude. And then now I'm feeding off your energy. Bae, can you pay attention to what I'm saying? Boom.
Why should I say that?
It's not even about having to say that. It's the matter of you're gonna throw fuel on a fire as opposed to just putting it out. That's also poor communication, because
how is that poor? If I'm communicating, if I'm talking to you directly to you and you're on your phone, how am I to know that you can't listen to me talk and be on your phone at the same time?
Because you know me, you'll tell somebody that I jump from task to task and I cannot focus. But if you know me,
you see what you just said is I told you that. Meaning you know this before I even come to you with any conversation. It's like, yo, he's talking to me. Let me pay attention to what he's saying. Because we've had this issue in the past.
But instead of you turning it the way that you turn it, because you know my issue, one of my biggest issues is I feed off energy. So the minute that you coming at me sideways or you got an attitude, it's really gonna be hard to maintain from there. But
I never come at you sideways.
Like the other day, this is the thing. He doesn't think his approach. The other day, he comes home from work. Now, we got this new thing where we give each other our undivided attention, our undivided time. This is outside of just the communication, but just making time for each other.
Don't give me no time.
Whatever.
I'm just
So, I'm upstairs and I'm in class. I'm in a master herbalist course to become a master herbalist, and I take the time out to do different modules here and there because it's online. So I'm not sure how long I was on it. I know I didn't start it until close to the time that he got home, which could have been my issue right there. But he comes home, he gets in the shower like usual, and he goes downstairs. So I'm like, okay, I'm back on my module, doing my module. I didn't even get done. He come upstairs. He like, what you doing? I'm like, my master herbalist course. He like, oh, okay. He goes back downstairs. Then maybe 30 minutes later, he comes.
30?
Yeah, or an hour, whatever.
An hour?
It wasn't that much longer.
It was like 2 hours.
It was an hour.
I get home at, say, 4:30. If I came upstairs, I took a shower when I came home. I came downstairs and I came back upstairs to see what you was doing. That's maybe 5:15, right?
Well, let's not talk about the time.
No. 5:15, right?
Possibly, yes.
So then, okay, you was doing it. I said, all right, cool. I went back downstairs. I came back upstairs. It was damn near 7:30.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. I can guarantee you it wasn't. But anyway, he comes upstairs, and this time his tone is not the same. He may think it's the same.
What?
But it's not the same. He like, what you doing? Like that is face screwed up and everything.
Communication failed already, sir.
Face screwed up and everything. What you doing up here? So initially, like I said, I have to work on it, but impulsively, I feed off the energy given to me. So I'm like, but even then, I kind of thought about it, but it was still, I'm like, what's up, babe? What you need? That's exactly how I responded. He like, you act like I seen you all day. Now, me being me, like, I know my husband. He don't really give me slack on a lot of stuff. Him saying that, I know he wanted to spend time with me. So initially I took it back because I'm like, okay, he wanted to spend time like that. But because I had already, yelled or said however I said the way he didn't like, his energy was all the way off. So he like, forget it, go downstairs. My thing is, I know he wanted to spend time with me. Now I'm all like, oh damn, I need to go downstairs and fix it. But of course that take not long, actually. Maybe 5-10 minutes. I'll be all up over him. He ain't gonna push me off. But my thing, what I was explaining to him, the communication part, I get it. He came upstairs, he was patient. The second time, he may not have understood, or you may not have thought that your tone was like that. But that's how it came off to me. Like, what is you doing?
My tone wasn't that, though.
Yes, it was. That's the thing. Like, I may need to put a camera up where you don't know so that I can replay it, because this is how your tone be, and this is the energy that you... half the time when I reply to you in a manner that you don't like, it's because your approach pushed me that way. You not going to... Name one time you come to me and be like, babe, X, Y, and Z, and I'm still rah, rah, rah. That's not it. It was how you came to me that made me feel like I needed to respond in this manner. So that's our biggest issue. He doesn't understand when his tone sets me off.
I honestly came upstairs and I was like, babe, what are you doing?
That is not how you said it. And then that's what I explained to him after. I said, why you didn't just come upstairs and say, babe, we ain't spent, I've been here,
why
you know.
do I have to say that?
That's his thing, his response.
Why do I have to say that? I've
because
been
you know if
day.
it makes
I haven't seen you all day, and then I come home and you doing some stuff on the computer. Me and the babies is downstairs, you upstairs by yourself. Oh, let me figure out what she doing upstairs is what is in my mind. So I go upstairs and I'm like, yo, what you doing? First time. All right, cool, you doing that? You'll be finished soon enough because, of course, I'm home. I come back a couple hours later, babe, what you doing? Why? What's up, babe? What you want?
That's not what I didn't say.
It's
what
like,
you
why?
want.
What's
I
up,
said
babe?
what you need.
I'm like, you act like I seen you all day or something. You act like I don't want to spend time with you or something, but all right, do your thing. I'm gonna go downstairs and I'm gonna give you the same energy when you come downstairs and realize you was wrong. And when she came downstairs and realized she was wrong, I gave her the same exact energy she gave me when I came upstairs.
It wasn't a realize I was wrong. It was the point of the matter. Because I read a quote that I try to stick by, but we're not perfect. You always attack your problem. You never attack the mate. You shouldn't do that.
Agree.
When does that happen in most of our arguments?
It doesn't.
Exactly. So me thinking like, all right, I'm realizing maybe I don't like his tone, but I know he wants to spend time with me and I want to spend time with him too. So let me go downstairs. Let me cut this off. But I feel like it could have never gotten there if you would have just came upstairs and honestly been like, babe, even if it was 2 hours, babe, you've been on there 2 hours. Like, when we gonna spend, you know what I mean? When I'm gonna have my time? When we gonna spend? You act like you see me. Even if you said it like that. But you was rough with it. Like, your approach was really rough. So I responded the way I responded. And I feel like in most of our disagreements, it's because of the approach. I don't feel like we don't communicate like we should because we talk all day and, you know, we may over communicate at times. So I don't think we have that problem.
Right.
But I feel like approach is a really big issue around here.
I can agree.
Just when we started this, for the record, you said you don't have a problem with the way that you communicate.
You breaking it down and saying, okay, don't attack your mate, attack the problem, it makes a lot of sense. Rather than me coming upstairs and having a problem with you trying to do something to better yourself, I should have been like, hey, babe, give me a little bit of time. Can you come back to that? Versus me to be like, yo, what you doing?
Right.
Like, come give me some time. I should have just came upstairs and said, let me get a little bit of time and you can finish that later.
See, and then that approach would have been in the bathroom. Because that's more gentle. Like, I need you to be more gentle with me. And I feel like you should know that.
And I feel like you should know when I walk through the door, take my shoes off, take my jacket off,
You bugging.
lay my towel out on the bed, run my shower water, and put me in the shower. I've been working all day. I need some time. I need you to caress my body when I walk through the door.
Anyway, so I feel like now, just coming off us, just relationships in general, sometimes it's just not knowing where you're going wrong in communication is what continues to
definitely
light the fire and make it worse than what it is. Because a lot of the times, and I'm being completely honest, because I have friends that'll tell me when I like call them and I'm mad, it's like, y'all argue about a bunch of nothing.
right.
We really don't have like serious arguments. Don't get me wrong, you know, here and there. But most of our arguments be so petty and something that could be resolved with simple communication as a lot of relationships. And I just feel like this conversation we had, like literally impromptu. We didn't plan this. He didn't know I was gonna bring up that scenario. I didn't know he was gonna say some of the things he said, but I get it. Like, he feel like I should know certain things. I feel like he should know certain things, and that's where we both wrong at. Because, if we don't know, you just teach me. You just let me know. And then now you teach me, you let me know, and I'm still not doing it. That's a different, another conversation for another day. But like me, I feel like talking to you, even if you come at me sideways, I know that I need to think about the energy I put out, because just like you could have put out the fire first by saying stuff a different way, I could still put out the fire or stop a fire from igniting by responding differently.
Your response, yeah.
So, for us, I feel like working on the approach will be wonderful for our relationship.
I agree.
As far as miscommunication, you have anything to say about that?
A lot of times when we get into a little, not even an argument, it's more with us, it's more like a debate. You don't understand this, no, you don't understand this. A lot of times it's the way that I may be saying something, or the way that you may be saying it, to where it's like, I don't understand your point of what you're saying. And me having a rebuttal to what you're saying, you're not going to really understand my point either. Right. So that's where the miscommunication is. Like, we don't really understand what each other's trying to say. Therefore, we're not going to get a solution in this issue. Right.
Well, with what you're saying, I want to add that when we do have disagreements of miscommunication, I think it's I feel how I feel, you feel how you feel.
Yeah,
and
100%. I think it's locked in. It's like, it's no getting us out of the way we feel. It's nothing I can say, and it's nothing you can say to make me feel the way that you feel or the way you see it.
And it turns into, well, we just gonna have to agree to disagree. But
right.
I kind of feel like that can possibly be detrimental too, because like we talked about the other day, we had a debate about the barbershop.
We're still in quarantine.
We still in quarantine. He hasn't gotten a haircut. I haven't gotten my hair done. He has really wanted to get a haircut, but he's not going to because of my anxiety, which I appreciate. And I know that eventually, well, here in Georgia, things are lifted, but I know eventually we're going to have to still protect ourselves, but get back to life. And I know that he wants to get his haircut. So me trying to fight past my anxiety, I'm like asking him, like, all right, I know you want to get your haircut, and I want to get my hair done too, to be honest, but I ain't going no shop. But he goes to, a barber, and I told him, hey, if you want to, get your haircut, let's talk about it. I think you should call your barber and ask your barber what precautions he's taking, so that we can decide if you feel like it's safe to get your haircut. Initially, his mind frame, matter of fact, you could tell them, because I don't want to talk.
My mind frame going into it was like, why do I have to reach out to my barber and be like, hey, are you wearing a mask when you cut people's hair? I know my barber. I know how clean he is. I know every time I go to the barber shop and how he clean his tools is like up to par. I know he's doing what he got to do to make sure that he's ensuring that everything that he's using on my face is sterilized and clean. So me having to send him a text or call him and be like, yo, if I bring you this mask, can you put it on when you cut my hair? He gonna be looking at the phone like, yo, if you uncomfortable with me cutting your hair without a mask, don't come to me.
And he's saying that because I offered to give him a shield to give his barber. So that's
right, not a mask. She want me to go out and buy a face shield, like a helmet for him to wear to cut my hair. She want me to bring this to him and be like, yo, cut my hair while you wearing this. I didn't feel like he will understand that just as a human being. Like, if you that uncomfortable coming to me normal, don't come to me. That's how I'm thinking that he's going to respond.
So because so
instead of me reaching out to him and asking him to do that, I just was like, nah, I'm not gonna get my hair cut.
I feel like that's wrong, because my idea of it is for the sake of your family.
Some.
Our daughter woke up.
Baby girl woke up. Come here, baby.
For the sake of your family, you worried about offending somebody that you paying for a service. You ain't being rude. You saying, hey, what's the protocol since the coronavirus? Like, what different steps are you taking? Because everybody could say that they was as clean as possible and, you know what I mean, took the proper precautions. But the fact of the matter is, we've dealt with, and we are dealing with this pandemic. So everybody has to step it up, whether you food service, whether you in customer service. Anytime you're dealing with people, you have to step up your protocols. So for me, my thing is, why do you have a problem asking him? You want to get your haircut bad? I'm working with you. Look at her looking crazy. I'm working with you. I want to be, meet you halfway, but you're not even willing to ask your barber what protocol he taking. So, like, literally it turned into an argument. But when we talked...
It shouldn't have, though, because I kind of just was like, I'm just not going to go. Instead of her leaving it there, she wanted to be... she just took it extra. She was extra. I feel she was extra. She may not feel like she was extra, but I feel like she went a little bit overboard.
I could have, because, I could have just said, all right, you don't want to get your hair cut, you don't want to get your hair cut. But my thing was, you didn't understand what I was saying. This is where the miscommunication was. It's not about not going to somebody that's not clean, or you not knowing that, he's a clean barber. It's about the fact that just taking proper precautions may require opening your mouth too. Like, hey, just for the sake of your family, because you go there and you there and he not wearing a mask. And you know what I mean? It's this stuff that you don't like. Not saying you would stay, but it's like you're already in a place that you could have prevented when you asked. If you call him and he'd be like, nah, I ain't wearing a mask or whatever. I'm just, or what if he say, I don't believe in that coronavirus shit. You don't want to go to nobody, you know what I mean, like that. So it's just.
We reached this conclusion when I got home, though. When I got home from work, we sat down and we talked about it, and I understood what she was trying to say to me through the text message.
Right, and
a lot of the miscommunication comes through a text message versus talking on the phone. And a lot of times she don't want to talk to me on the phone. When she's angry, she don't want to talk, but she'll text me 10,000 paragraphs.
And that's true too. Miscommunication can come from being text messages, because you don't know the tone that the person is talking in, and you take it upon yourself to decide that tone. And there's been many a times I've done that too, where I've decided that he said something a certain way when he really didn't. He come home and he said, all I said was, and I'd be like, dang, I didn't read it like that. So there's a lot of different factors, and we could probably talk about miscommunication or issues with communication all day. Yeah. But the honest to God truth is, everybody deals with it in relationships. If you're not in a relationship, miscommunication between friends, family, that happens. And I think the best way to get over that hump is just to kind of know where you go wrong, and not just one party. Sometimes it is just one party, but equally, you know what I mean, both people make a decision and take action to prevent that from happening again.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm just gonna plug ourselves since we are talking about communication. Was it last year or was it the beginning of this year?
I don't even know where you're going right now.
Oh, well, maybe some months ago, I don't know if it was between last year or the beginning of this year, we had, because we do know that sometimes communication also is lacked because of the daily life stuff. Like, it be stuff that I want to talk to him about. I talk to my husband all day. I will talk to him all day if I could. I used to, but now at work he be busy, so you know, he kind of just text and call me when he can. But the daily life, I'm here with the kids all day, he's at work all day. There might be something I want to say, and I be like, oh, I'm gonna talk to him about this, or I want to tell him this, and you know, I don't remember, because by the time he get home, we trying to get this house together, we trying to eat dinner, the kids, daddy. So there's a lot of conversations that go unhad sometimes because of the fact that regular life goes on. And we had decided to create a journal for couples, and it really has worked for us too. Should have said this in the beginning. Yeah. And it's on Amazon. The link will be below for anybody that wants it. It's from me to you, for us. And we chose a quote: love without conversation is impossible. So like how we do it is, you know, we don't do it every day, because that's overkill. But like, if I have something I want to say to him, or I want to stop in my tracks and just, you know, write out my appreciation or whatever, argue about something, not even arguing, because we had already committed to whatever is in here is not meant to intend or offend, or intended to offend, sorry, the other person. Like, this book is with love, written with love. So basically, if it's out before he goes to work, he know that I wrote something, and he takes it to work, he'll read it. He may or may not write back that day. He may write back days later. He may have something else that he want to do or whatever. But anyway, it's a journal, and you just leave little notes. It's all empty pages, but you just leave little notes for your mate and leave it out. And when it's left out, they know that they can read it and then respond back whenever. So it's just like a conversation, an endless conversation until you get to the end, then you buy another one.
How she feel that day, she may write in the book and be like, babe, I love you, I appreciate everything you do, I just want you to know that you're great, blah blah blah. Once I read it, I'll take it to work. Once I get a break, I'll sit down and I'll write back to her. It's kind of like a write and reply.
Yeah, a write and reply. Yeah, like how high school, when you used to write your boo notes.
When you have your little boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, you'll write her a note, and then by the end of class, she'll be coming back to you with a note, things like that. And
then honestly, sometimes it's really relieving, because like you, or one of his notes, I remember, I'm not gonna say verbatim, but like, he was upset when he was gonna write. It was something, you were upset about something, but like, he sat down and he started to write, like, you know, why he was bothered or upset. And then as he started to write, he was just kind of like, and now that I'm writing this, I realize it's not that real. This is what I want to do. This is what I think we should do. And I've done that too, where you know, you start off, and when you're writing it, you like, this is some bull crap. Like, yeah. What I'm mad about, like, you know what I mean?
Realize how senseless y'all arguments and y'all beefs really is. You just be like, this wasn't even worth the energy.
Exactly. And then it turns into something else. But I can't wait till we get to the end of ours, because it's just gonna be like a bunch of love stories, a bunch of love notes. Right. And we gonna read them back and, you know, talk about them and stuff like that. But anyway, if you are in a relationship and you think that this would be good, again, the link is down below. You can purchase it on Amazon, and it's Prime, so you can get it in 2 days. We gonna end this vlog here, episode, channel, whatever. We gonna end this here because my little mama need her hair done, and it is the holiday, and we haven't started barbecuing yet. So thanks for watching. Comment below. Let us know what you guys think about the communication conversation, what you guys have to add. We would love to hear it. Until next time.
Peace.